Hello everyone, this is Jake. Welcome to Spirit Guide Chat. I hope everybody is gearing up for the holiday if you are celebrating. I am hosting this year. That's why I'm doing this video on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, because I will be having family over. It's not going to be a huge gathering. My sister and her kids, her four kids, and husband, my brother-in-law, uh, can't make it this year, so it'll just be half the amount of people. And usually, when they come over, because they are out of state, they stay for the whole weekend in my house, so I would usually be entertaining people for the whole weekend. So, but still, it's going to be fun. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy hosting. Um, and after I film this, I will continue on my prepping. So hopefully, everyone out there has a stress-free and safe holiday. So with that, again, thank you for watching. And if you're commenting and liking, thank you. Also, hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you know when my next video will be out. I will go back to the Thursday um, regular weekly schedule. I will post that in the post area, or it used to be the community page, and let you know. And again, if you want to ask questions, feel free. No personal questions, of course. But let's get started, okay? Enough jabbering about housekeeping. Okay. Few international things I want to cover before we get into some of the domestic issue questions I have is one. This Ukraine and Russia peace deal. I know they were in Geneva, and there were before that there was this whole Russian wish list that came out that President Trump supported. Not surprising, and it doesn't help. It helps support that Trump is probably a Russian asset, um, but. Yeah, but there's a lot to do, and these are the cards that were jumping out as I'm talking about that. Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. Money is dealing with um, this deal, which is kind of unfortunate because when you're talking about a war, the biggest asset that you should be worrying about is the people of the countries, like providing security and safety. And obviously in most peace deals, money does play a factor, but the biggest factor should be the people, the citizens of each country, to ensure their safety in the future. Um, so with that being said, let's see if there will be a deal hashed out. I know Europe is involved now, which is good, because Europe should be involved in this negotiations, not just the United States and Russia, and also the Ukrainian delegation should be involved in this peace deal. So let's see if there will be a deal that is agreed upon by the end of this year, end of 2025, where will there be a peace deal between the Ukraine and Russia? Let's see what's being jumped out here. There's some troops coming out and a proposal. So that's using your head over heart with the King of Swords. So they are trying to nail down, and because there is a lot of emotions, of course, there's going to be a lot of emotions when it comes to war. Um, Gosh, a lot of cards want to jump out. In Knight of Cups, this is the proposal that'll be coming out. A lot of hard work, and there is going to be a sudden shift with this Tower card. There's going to be something that shifts this deal, and it's probably in a good way because right now Russia is trying to make the be all about them, which is not going to happen considering they're the reason why this war even started in the first place. So, not surprising the devil is in the center of this reading, and it's being crossed by the Nine of Pentacles, which popped up before as I was talking. But it's when it's crossing the devil, we are talking about. It's I would say, when you're talking about the devil, obviously that's probably Putin and Russia. They're really worried about the money issue. They're running out of money. They're not doing as well when it comes to money. They're worried about paying for this war. So this is the center where why money is going to be talked about. In the recent past, there's hope and calm, which is a good thing in the recent past, because there is a want from both sides to end this conflict. There is going to be some disappointment at the foundation of the reading at the Eight of Cups. A lot of times when you're negotiating through negotiations, there should be concessions on both sides, and it's a real compromise. You should be giving up something on each side. So there might be definitely with Russia, they're not going to get all those points that they were wanting. Ukraine probably will not. Most likely, I'm getting they're going to definitely not get Crimea back, but they may also lose some of that. Excuse me for mispronouncing the Donbass regions. I think they'll get some of it, but not all of it. So yeah, and then there's a lot of emotions crowded the reading: the regret, failure, disappointment. So there is going to be disappointment. They're coming in the near future, and there's the Hermit card. Really, there is really going to be truth seeking, contemplating, shining a light on what each party wants to have. And definitely, again, with the disappointment, there is the Hangman. There is going to be some letting go of points of contention with both sides, which is something that what we're looking for is temperance. When you're looking for temperance, some kind of balance on this deal, there's going to be some letting go of what you're wanting. Their hope is this is going to be a new beginning, the Fool card. And what's the outcome? Is the money issue. Now, there is going to be restrictions on Russia. There is going to be giving of well. There's also going to be a hidden agenda coming in here, and that's not surprising with Trump and Putin. But there is going to be a rebirth. So I would say yes. Because even though the outcome card is a no, there's a lot of yeses leading up to this. And when we expand in further talking about the outcome card, they further explain that it'll lead to a rebirth. So there's going to be restrictions put in place with Russia, giving that security in exchange for money. But there is also going to be a hidden agenda with Russia and the United States. And I would even dare to say the United States, when it comes to the money issue, they want investments in rebuilding. So the contracts and things like that. So that's it may not be the thing that I would want, or even Ukrainians want, or the Russians, but at least there is a beginning of the end that we'll see by the end of this year in regards to that conflict. Okay, the other international thing is we don't hear it. We hear about it on the news, on the mainstream news. If you're listening to anything or reading, there is talks about Venezuela. It is ramping up a little bit. So I want to take a look to see if the United States and Venezuela will begin fighting, whether by sea, air, or land. Let's take a look if there will be incursions starting between the United States and Venezuela. There's a little confusion in regards to, I know the general consensus, what I've seen in polls, is that nobody wants us to get involved in something, let alone in regards to what. These illegal bombings of the boats, are illegal because there is no proof in that, and there's usually supposed to be trials being done, not that we just shoot and destroy on inclinations. And let alone the reason about fentanyl. Fentanyl is not in Venezuela. That's Mexico and Central America through the products that are shipped from China. So that's not even Venezuela to me and a lot of people is the oil. And Maduro's in the way of the United States access to their oil, and that's what I feel that what their true feeling is. But let's go back to the question. Enough rambling, Jake. Let's see if the United States and Venezuela will there be fighting. Okay, there's been planning going on. Two of wands here being crossed by the Knight of Swords. So there's been a lot of restlessness and impulsiveness in regards to the United States for whatever the reason is that we are wanting to start this fight with Venezuela. In the recent past, we have the World card. There was a completion of the cycle. So this Nine of Cups is in the base. I think there might be talks that behind the scenes on trying to get Maduro to leave on his own, to prevent this from happening. And I think there are with back channel talks about this, and there's proposals of some kind of exchange for him doing this. And there is a lot of strength and focus with Venezuela crowning this reading. There is a lot of soul searching going on with the Hermit card in the near future about probably what I feel is the United States figuring out the direction and spin on if we do move forward. And there is going to be, I see this as Venezuela trying to push back on the United States. But see, from the world perspective, this is really bad for the United States because the world is very shocked over this aggressiveness towards Venezuela. So with the Five of Cups, a lot of people are disappointed in the United States. There's a lot of illusions coming out with this, the Moon card. And yes, there's been a lot of planning going on, and unfortunately there is going to be some kind of excursion that will lead to, when I expand on this at the bottom of the deck with the Lovers card, there's going to be some kind of excursion in fighting between Venezuela and the United States, but I don't think it's going to be long term. It's going to quickly lead to some type of an agreement between the United States and Venezuela. So TBD on that, and it's unfortunate that that's going to happen when nobody asked for it, you know? So, okay. Moving on over to the United States, domestic kind of questions. I mark off my list here. The recent video that came out with social media with current members of Congress, senators, and Congress people, that were ex-intelligence or veterans in the military, telling the current individuals in the military that it's in their swearing in that they can refuse to follow illegal orders, that they took a sworn oath to the Constitution, which to me is very strategic and get this conversation going. And unfortunately for for these Congress people, they are targets of the Trump administration. But they knew that. They knew that going into that. I'm sure of it. They're smart individuals. The two individuals that are the biggest targets are the senator from Michigan, Alyssa Slotkin, and the senator from Arizona, Mark Kelly. And Mark Kelly is a military veteran. I believe he's a captain, and he was a former astronaut and the husband to uh, oh goodness, I just had her name. The one that Giffords that was had the attempted assassination, the congresswoman, former congresswoman, Gabrielle. Alyssa Slotkin was a former CIA agent. So I want to look at Alyssa Slotkin, and then we'll look at Senator Kelly's. So Senator Alyssa Slotkin, show me spirit her future. Show me what's going to happen to her. Any repercussions because of this video. Okay. I have a page of cups. So this is something that she helped create. I think she was one of the proponents for this video. And it got was one of the drivers in regards to this. And this is crossed by the Queen of Cups. She does have, even though she is very strong. If you ever seen her speak, and she's very intelligent, very well spoken, and very clear. It's not a lot of word salad you get from her. But there is some insecurity now. I think with her being the target of the administration right now. In the recent past, there's a lot of she is a rising star among the Democrats, especially in a purple state of Michigan. That is a very positive thing. There's the Five of Cups, 3 cups lost, 2 cups remaining. Currently, right now, in the foundation of this, I think she is, like I said, going back, there is some worry about it. However, she's focusing on the 2 cups that she has. There is some planning going on, being strategic in regards to anticipating what the next steps are going to be. But then there's going to be some stability. I think things are going to settle down for her. Right now, it is shaky right now. And this is going to end up being a good thing that she did, that she stood up. People are wanting to see more of this from the Democrats. So the Wheel of Fortune card is a very positive card for her. And this goes into she is working and continuing on. That star is going to rise, and then she is going through a new cycle with the World card. And this isn't endings and beginnings. This doesn't mean that there's a literal death. This is meaning that she is going through a transformation, and this is part of leadership in the Democratic Party. New leadership. I wouldn't be surprised if Democrats take over for the Senate, that she is going to be a rising star in the leadership in the Senate. Also, she might be a potential. There's been talks already about a potential candidate for 2028. So definitely, this is going to turn. Right now, it is on shaking ground, but she's tough. And she is going to defend herself, and it's going to prove out in the long run a positive thing for her, that she's a fighter in fighting what's true and protecting the democracy. So let's look at Mark Kelly from Arizona, Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. Let's look at his future spirit and see what is in the near future for him, what's coming up for him. And any repercussions that are going on because of this video. Okay. Definitely there was a partnership going on. Like I said, Senator Slotkin, I felt that she was a driver for this video. There was a partnership. There was a proposal happen, and it's a man and woman. So I'm assuming his Senate colleague, Senator Slotkin, came up to him and talked about this video. It's crossing by the 7 of Pentacles. I think prior to this, there was even though he's been a strong senator, especially another purple state senator in Arizona. I think he lacked some vision on how to focus his energies, and this proposal help focus where he can help the most right now. In the past, he has the Justice card, fighting for justice and fairness. And this popped up. You saw me shuffling. This popped up for him with the foundation. This is definitely a change and metamorphosis. This is something, again, like I just said, that the Democrats needed to have this change of what the direction the party has been going. And this movement has been going very fast. Things have been progressing very fast, even afterwards with the Chariot card. And then, he is a very diplomatic and in control person. If you see him talk and stuff like that, he is very much a controlled person in regards to an emotionally balanced person, which can help out some of these other individuals that were involved in this, because he is a very strong leader with the King of Cups. And there's a lot of strength behind him. And again, what I said, a natural leader. From the outside, he's the King of Wands. Since this happened, Senator Slotkin has spoke out, but he's been spoke out the most because even though she was one of the drivers, he's been in regards to repercussion, he's been the main target for the administration. But to the outside, to others, he's seen as a strong leader. He is going to be working efficiently and hard and against strategizing with the King of Pentacles or Knight of Pentacles in regards to that. And then he's going to have to fight the most, because I think they are going to, they talked about, they as in the defense secretary and Trump talked about putting him in a military tribunal, and I think they might end up doing that. And that's him with the fight. So let's see on the bottom of the deck and expand it more. He is going to be raising money based off of that. What's going on with the Six of Pentacles. But he's going to have the new way of communicating. He's going to be the communicator out of this group, the biggest communicator with the Page of Swords. But in the end, I think he is going to be fine with the Ten of Cups. He is going to be shown as a winner and showing the hidden agenda of the Trump administration. I think it's going to be a mistake. They feel like, oh, we're going to show him and set him an example. But he's going to outsmart them. He is much smarter than Hexa. And he is going to make them look foolish in the end. So, all right. So that's good to hear about Senator Slotkin and Kelly. Real quick, I want to talk about MTG. I talked about her a few videos back about that she is going through an evolution. This is before she resigned. That I said I did one of the questions in my weekly reading. You can go back and see that she's going through an evolution, whether you believe it or not. I truly do think she did, and that's led up to her resignation. So I want to look at her future to see what's going on. Since after she resigned, what's going to happen to Marjorie Taylor Greene? And like I said, the evolution, it doesn't mean we have to trust her and whatnot. But I think in regards to anybody that's doing what we feel is evil or bad or racist, a bigot, that's part of learning in life is to evolve and learn from your mistakes. It doesn't mean that people have to forgive you. It doesn't mean that people have to love you the way you want them to or like you. But I think that's the ultimate goal for everybody, is to learn from our mistakes and move forward and hopefully do as much good in this world and try to correct what you've already done wrong, And I'm not saying that she can undo anything. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that learning from it and evolving is what we can hope for anybody in those areas. All right. So future of Marjorie Taylor Greene after her resignation in January. Then we have one more question, and we'll do our general reading. Okay. She's wanting fairness and justice, which is crossed by the devil card. Okay. Devil card crossed with on its side is this is what I was talking about. This is going back to where her evolution. She's releasing a lot of those limited beliefs that she used to believe in. She's wanting to be more of a balanced person. And I feel that she is going to, or she's wanting to do that. And she can't finish her evolution while being a member of Congress. In the recent past, is the Four of Cups. She felt disconnected and contemplated on her next move. There will be a time for her to recuperate with the Four of Swords, rest and recuperation. And of course, the Trump with the Emperor cards crowning this reading. She is doing a lot of planning and prepping in the Two of Wands, whether that's moving on to another office, we'll see what the cards will say, whether it's doing a book, a podcast, things like that. She is going to be a Page of Swords. I think she is going to do a lot of interviews beyond the podcast, maybe an analyst on Fox News, who knows. She is going to be collaborating, which I think she is going to write a book for sure. I really do. And then she hopes eventually there will be some kind of homecoming for herself back into the Republican folds eventually. But in the meantime, she is going to be trying to keep the attacks and be on steady feet in the return. But again, she's very ambitious, and there's going to be a sudden change with the Tower card and the Strength, and people are going to view her as positive. I really do think that there is going to be a book out that she's going to do, a tell-all book that is really going to shed light on what really was going on, conversations that she had witnessed and things like that. That's really going to be part of I think the Tower part is really about the Trump administration. Now, I agree with the people who were saying, well, she was participating in this. She has contributed to this, and hid this behavior. Totally agree. But at the same time, she could quit and not have to do this either, too. So, but I think it's going to be helpful to help not those who have already woken up, but those who need to still wake up about what's really going on. All right. So that's her. Now, the last thing is that to see if Mike Johnson will retain his speakership. I know I've kind of read on this. I think he's still going to, before the midterms, will lose his speakership. Because with Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving, it's reducing his down to one person unless Afton Bain wins in Tennessee. And let me add that I totally forgot about. I did have another question, but I'm gonna ask that next because that's coming up next week. The special election. I think early voting started in that. Okay, Mike Johnson, will he retain his speakership through the midterms? Let's see. Will Mike Johnson retain his speakership through midterms? What I was saying before I went off on a tangent, surprise, that there might be some more retirements from the Republicans. So just the frustration with him and what's going on, and let's just see. So the Queen of Cups, someone that's compassionate and calm, which is not him, is being crossed by the hangman. There's such delays and standstills going on in Congress. That's one of the main frustration why people who are going to announce their retirements early is that nothing's being done. Really, Congress hasn't done really much in regards to this. In the past, you have the Justice card, and then there's something new coming with the Ace of Wands. There is something new growth opportunities. There's a and new beginnings. I think there's been talks in the background with other members of Congress, not with him and others. I think there's other people been talking and making collaborating in regards to getting rid of Johnson. There's going to be some type of restriction on something. There might be, I think there's going to be something that's going to cause him. I think right now he feels really restricted because he's doing Trump's bidding with the Eight of Swords, which is not surprising, which is causing these delays. He is going to be resilient and strong and stand up to these individuals, the Knight of Wands. But people are wanting somebody that's more balanced. If the King of Cups here from the outside, and want somebody that hopes for a natural leader to step forward at the King of Wands. Um, but then there's progress, foresight, uh, expansion. So it's still I still think that there's a possibility he might be able to retain it to the midterms. I don't feel the House is going to maintain the majority there, but he might be skirting and shaky all the way to the midterms. So we shall see in regards to him. And that's kind of unfortunate, but let's hope that's wrong. Afton Bain, versus Van Epps, I think that's the Republican. This is a district in Tennessee, in the Nashville area. That's, I believe, voted for Trump for 20 points, but then there's a lot of money that's been pushed in. Afton Bain is a state legislature in Tennessee. And let's take a look here to see if Afton Bain will win that special election and flip that blue. So will that special election in Tennessee flip to blue and Afton Bain gets elected? Take a look. She is the Queen of Swords. She's very much telling the truth and trying to push that out as a strong person. Nine of Cups is being crossed. Uh, there is a lot of dissatisfaction. She knows that she has to get through in regards to telling the truth about this. There's a lot of people in Tennessee, just like the rest of the United States, are not happy with things are, and she has to cut through those people who typically vote for Republicans, right? The Empress cards in the past, um, growth, action, evolution. The four of Pentacles is the foundation of the reading. She is really talking about the money issues, the affordability issues. She's really striving to talk to people because that's what people are hurting right now. This is definitely a world card, which is a good sign that this is a change in a cycle. Page of Swords. She's really pushing out new ideas, new ways of doing things. The Wheel of Fortune card is coming, and from the outside, there's very much a public recognition. People are really listening to her message, which is a good thing. She is worried about with the competition, with Van Epps. He has the backing, but it says Ace of Swords. That's a strong yes card. So she might be able to pull out this victory, and that would be a huge, huge, huge thing. But she has to worry about some deception by the Republicans. But again, there's still such celebration with the Four of Wands, the Sun card, the Fool card coming out there, and bringing back balance again with the Temperance cards. Those are very strong cards, following enough. So I have a very good feeling that she can pull this off. And let's hope and pray that she can do that. People there in the national area will vote blue and change the situation that's going on slowly but surely. All right, let's wrap up this video with a general message. And remember, like with anybody, I'm not just talking about myself, any reader that's out there, they're not going to get everything 100% right. We're dealing with free will. Timing's like always the worst. And I'm just the middleman with my spirit guides, what the spirit's telling me, and deciphering the message. And it's not an exact science. So I would, going back, there is quite a few things that I have gotten right. So we shall see going forward. Let's look at the general message spirit for everyone. What's best going to help them into this holiday week? Yeah, the devil card, we're starting out with that in regards to materialistic things, okay? We're going into holiday season. Of course, there's going to be pressure for shopping, and if you're struggling financially, that's going to be a hard thing to feel that pinch. This is being crossed by the Queen of Wands. And it's about insecurity about the materialistic things, like what I was just beginning to talk about. Like right now, a lot of people are struggling financially, and there's a lot of insecurity in regards to that. In the recent past, there's been self-restrictions with the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped. But we have to remember with the foundation, this is the Emperor's cards. There's other means of nurturing ourselves, giving ourselves some space and grace in regards to celebrating this holiday season. Remembering it's not about necessarily the materialistic things. It's dealing with the love and the people that surround us, that are supporting us. And this is what's crowning the reading. The Nine of Cups, having that gratitude, remembering where Thanksgiving is a day that not we should be having Thanksgiving every day in the sense of having gratitude every day, but this is especially a moment to remember what we have in our lives. And I'm not talking about the materialistic things, I'm talking about the people, the support, the love that we have in the life. Ace of Wands, coming in these kinds of seasons, the holiday seasons, is also a sign of new beginning. We're heading towards the end of this year and going on into a new year, and things of what kind of goals we want for the coming year, and how we can make the changes and work towards our goals that we may have. The Knight of Cups, again, being creative of what we have and bringing those projects to fruition. We're talking about the opportunities coming up with the ending of this year into the new year with the Seven of Cups. And remembering, the hope is to remember an Ace of Cups. Remembering all of our cups are overflowing with a lot of, not the materialistic things, about what, it doesn't matter how many people you have surrounding you, but remembering, even if it's just one person that's around you or you talk to on a regular basis, your cup is running full of love. If someone's caring enough about you to reach out to you often, and also with that, remembering that with the gratitude, and remembering the love that we have in our lives, is to take actions towards making the changes we want to have. It doesn't mean we have to get everything right away, but if we're working successfully towards those goals and making changes, that's what's more important. And with that being said, again, I wish you all and your families a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next Thursday. Until then, bye-bye.